Why do some retirees never worry about property taxes? Something interesting happens when people retire. Expenses that never seemed important before suddenly feel much bigger. Property taxes, insurance, utilities, small bills that just used to disappear quietly into the background. But once a person stops working, those same bills can start to feel a little bit heavier, even when their financial situation hasn't changed very much. And over the years, I've noticed something interesting. Some retirees worry about these expenses constantly, while others hardly think about them at all. So the question becomes, what's the difference? Most people approach retirement with a simple assumption. The goal is to reduce expenses as much as possible. Pay off the mortgage, downsize the house, cut all unnecessary spending, and eliminate as many financial obligations as possible. From a mathematical perspective, this approach makes perfect sense, but retirement decisions are rarely just about math, because something interesting happens when people begin to focus only on minimizing expenses. They start to see every little bill as a problem. Property taxes feel frustrating. Maintenance feels wasteful. Insurance feels unnecessary, but sometimes the problem isn't the bill itself. Sometimes the problem is how the bill is framed. Let's take property taxes for an example. Most homeowners see this as an expense, a cost that must be paid every year. But another way to look at it is this. Property tax is the opportunity of maintaining something meaningful. For many retirees, that home represents decades of life, raising children, hosting family gatherings, building memories. When you step back and you look at it this way, the property tax isn't just a bill. And this is where things become interesting, because many retirees actually have more flexibility than they realize. Some choose to downsize, some adjust their spending, some use programs like the property tax deferment. Others simply just structure their income in a way that comfortably covers these expenses. The key insight is this. There are usually multiple ways to solve the same financial problems. So why do some retirees never worry about property taxes? It's rarely because the bill is smaller. It's usually because their perspective is different. They don't see every expense as something to eliminate. Instead of asking, how do I get rid of this bill? They ask, how does this fit into the life that I want to live? And this is something that we talk about often at Sparrow, because financial planning isn't just about crunching numbers, it's about understanding the relationship between money and meaning. For some people, downsizing brings freedom. For others, staying in their home brings stability to their life. And for some, eliminating every possible expense translates into peace of mind. The numbers simply provide boundaries, but the decisions happen within those boundaries, which brings us back to something simple but very important. When someone says they're worried about property taxes, the real question usually isn't about the tax. The real question is whether their financial plan supports the life they want to live. Once that plan is clear, those smaller decisions become much, much easier. The difference between retirees who worry about money and those who don't often isn't on income. It's clarity. Clarity about how their money supports their life. Clarity about what they value most. And clarity about the choices available to them. Because in the end, financial planning rarely comes down to one single strategy. It usually comes down to one single question. And that question is, what's important about money to you?